When my brother stared right into my eyes and told me he had to take the deal, I didn't break down. I just gave a nod and a smile, acting like it was no big deal at all. But deep down, my heart split wide open, real slow and gentle, like shutting the door on a room packed with faded family snapshots. That grin covered it up good. The endless hours we'd poured into starting our little hardware store from scratch, those late-night chats over steaming mugs of Joe, the kid stuff promises to stick together no matter what. His name was Tom, my one and only brother, 3 years my senior, the guy who showed me how to balance on a bike and patch a dripping gutter. Right there, in our messy back office, with invoices all over like dead leaves in fall, the whole thing hit me hard. Cash had sneaked in between us, soft as morning mist, and now it was yanking him out of my reach. I can still picture hoofing it home that night, the drizzle kicking up on my jacket. Every raindrop landed like a tear I flat out refused to shed. How you even say so long to the fella who knows every bump and bruise you've got? I parked by the window that evening, staring at the street lamp smearing in the wet, asking myself if he'd ever turn around. Our tale kicks off way before that downpour. Back when we were scrawny kids in a modest bungalow on Maple Street, Mom and Pop busted their humps. Pop punching the clock at the mill, Mom stitching up hems till the wee hours. Tom and I bunked together, beds stacked high like our wild kid schemes. He'd flip open his comics and spin yarns, his tone rock solid and hushed, bringing those Caped Crusaders right to life. We sure weren't rolling in dough, but man, we had each other. Lazy summers? That meant hauling our poles to the lazy river bend, hooks snagging in our giggles. Someday, we'll run our own joint, Tom'd holler, whipping his line out. I'd bob my head, buying it hook, line, and sinker. 'Cause brothers don't fib. Those easy days forged us tough, roots digging deep into the same backyard dirt. Growing up tugged us different paths, but we'd swing back around every time. Tom hit the local junior college for some business smarts, rolling home with schemes doodled on burger wrappers. Me, I stuck close, wrenching on rides at the auto shop, fingers black with grease, but soul brimful. When Pop took ill, Tom gripped my mitt in that sterile ER, murmuring, "Hang in there, kid brother." We muddled through, laying him to rest neath the big oak where we'd wrestled and won. Soft strings rise up warm, visual, grainy sepia pick dissolving from creekside lads to a vivid hospital snap, palms locked tight. When Pop gone, Mom needed us double. She'd perch at the Formica table, her mug of Lipton cooling off, gaze miles away. Tom and I vowed right then, no more going solo. We scraped our paychecks together, snagged a shoebox space on Elm Avenue. Tom and Jake's Fix-It Depot, our shingle proclaimed, brush-stroked by our own hands. It stood for our word, carved solid as oak. Launch day, pure fireworks. Folks from the block poured in, slapping Tom's back, pumping my paw. We crammed racks with bolts, mallets, buckets of latex, everyday gear for patching up life. Tom kept the tabs tidy in his notebooks, a steady anchor. I'd jaw with the regulars, jotting down little Timmy's shoe size or the Johnson's deck redo. Come sundown, we'd shutter the place, tally the drawer under that lone hanging light, and spin yarns till our eyes drooped. Picture this at dusk, Tom grinned, boots propped on a milk crate. Branch out, stock some lawn gear maybe. I'd chuckle back. Yeah, and a percolator that don't cough up grounds. Those bull sessions bound us closer, like the hemp cords we hawked for hauling. Bucks trickled in steady, enough to slap new shingles on Mom's place and throw our first worry-free holiday spread. Days fell into a groove. Sunday suppers at Mom's, toting her go-to pecan pie. She'd wrap us up fierce, cooing, "You two, my anchors in the storm." That's when Tom crossed paths with Sarah, a soft-spoken schoolmarm with eyes like summer skies. They tied the knot in our scruffy yard, fairy lights twinkling, yours truly toasting as best man. I eyed him pledging his troth, musing, "This here is kin, solid as rebar." But cracks showed early, faint as pencil marks. Word got round a mega mart was sniffing our turf. Billboards blaring rock-bottom tags. Tom brought it up casual over hilly dogs. "Cutthroat operators, but sharp as tacks," he mused. lines etching his forehead. I brushed it aside. We got soul. That's our edge. He agreed, yet I caught that shadow flit across his mug, quick as a cloud over cornfields. Cut to glow of yellow kitchen bulb, clan huddled round oak table, chuckles low, tune dips quiet for chit-chat. That store, it buzzed like a beehive. Those early stretches, the go-to spot on the lane. Gramps Hargrove would shuffle in for dovecoats, swapping foxhole fables. Newlyweds snagged drapery hooks, pink in the cheeks over starter nests. Tom and I slotted in natural. He the map maker, me the troubleshooter. Dawns, I'd flip the deadbolt, chimes tinkling welcome. High noon, bins cleared and reloaded. Our knuckles bumping in the storeroom, wordless brofist. Sunsets gifted the sweet stuff. We'd mop the planks, split a hoagie on the stoop. Tom'd muse on his visions for Sarah, a wraparound veranda for lazy afternoons. I'd pipe up with mine, a pickup that fired right up in January chills, or a jaunt to the lake. This is the good stuff we're crafting, he'd declare, thumping my back. That pat rooted me, echo of creek knee-deep adventures. Mom's vigor ebbed easy, like corn stalks in September. Sugar sickness slunk in, sapping her zip. We'd ferry her to checkups, Tom threading the commute, me clasping her fingers. In the lobby, he'd nudge my leg. She's steel, same as our stock. Back home, I'd simmer her chicken noodle soup, chunks of gold from the greengrocer. Tom crunched the finances, his adding machine tapping rhythmic as a pulse. That one brutal winter, Flake swaddled elm like a courier in Ives print. Our marquee a frosted gem, trade dipped, but we rolled with it. Mugs of Swiss Miss for browsers, tall tales chasing the hush, blackout from the gale. We fired up oil lamps, peddling wax dips by flicker. Block folks dubbed us saviors, but nah, it was just bros versus blizzard. Curled by the cashbacks that eve, Tom leaned in. No way without my wingman. It sank in my marrow. True blue. Sarah sprinkled sparkle besides. Her chuckles warmed our hoedowns, genuine as homemade Wayne. When Lily popped out, our emporium turned romper room. Toy mallets, splinter-free pine. I'd jiggle her on my lap. Tom beaming wide. Uncle Jake's the wizard, he'd rib. Those snippets soda snug. A down comforter warding winter's bite. Still, greenbacks murmured low. Slim spells stacked statements in the minus. Tom's spreadsheets bleeding crimson. He'd burn the midnight oil, brown knotted over columns. I'd stumble on him, Joe stone cold. All good, he'd brush off, shooing me. But I clocked the wear, grins going gaunt. We soldiered ahead anyhow, banking on the glue from those top bunk nights. Stipe shift sneaky, waves gnawing rock. The giant, home mart, unfurled branches over the county line, sterile lanes, tags guttered deep. Our trade seeped off, hooked by steals. Just a blip, I assured Tom, solo shelving. He, Vase raking the voids, tallying tallies. We pivoted sharp at junk, trimmed shifts, hawked deals on fasteners and cable. Tom whipped up broadsides, script crisp. Folks stick for a reason, he pinned 'em proud. Holdouts hung tough. Widow Ellis for her trowels, cookie in tow. But murmurs mounted. That big box undercuts us silly. Tom's chatter skewed fiscal. Fancies fading. Midday once, a city slicker and pinstripes breezed through. Ellis, unrelated, crisp collar, silver tongue. Y'all are the pulse of this stretch, he pumped hands. Tom jawed smooth, demoing wares. I hung by the jam, gut twisting. After, Tom waved it. Prospecting, that's all. But at Mom's pie plate that night, he poked pastry mute. Fusses fizzled tiny, freight tardy. Tom barked once, out of character. Slips cost us now, he grumbled. I rolled past it, pinning on pinch. Sarah clocked it, cornering me post-meal. He's frayed, Jake. This place is us. I squeezed her, vowing it would lift. But Z's dodged me, plaster gawking blank as riddles. Squabbles stewed mild over drip rings. Tom pushed loans for stock up. I balked. Dad's old IOUs flashing. Smart play, he pressed. Tone firm but frayed. Bars. I inked it, faith spanning. Doubts danced though. His after-hours rings, fuzzy on huddles, snuck a folder from his jacket. Home mart tie-ins, gilt-edged lures. Kin tugged too. Mom quizzed the venture. Timber thin. Still your beacon? Tom beamed forced. Me spotting strain. Lily's big day? We pinched for frosting and frills. Tom ghosted the bash, swamped. Sarah's peepers locked sat on mine. He treasures y'all, she breathed. I dipped chin, but the void hung chill. Dusks I'd prowl the pavement, outlook